Welcome everybody to my latest video. So for this video, I'm going to show you guys how to fix, or actually how to prevent, your arcade marquee light from shorting out. Now notice I didn't say stop it from burning out. I'm talking about stopping it from shorting out. Now if you get yourself a cabinet, chances are the bulb in here is probably going to be dead and you're going to have to go fix it. Or actually, excuse me, you're going to have to replace it. Now these things aren't cheap. These can range between $5 to $7 or $8 for this size. It all depends on where you go. If you shop hard enough, you can get them for, $3 or $4. But when I got this, I popped off the marquee, and obviously this is not an official arcade light fixture. It's homemade, but it gets the job done. So I'm probably just gonna, fix it a little bit. But I turned on the arcade cabinet and there was no light. And I figured, oh well, makes sense. I'm probably just gonna have to replace the bulb. So I took out the old bulb, went down to the hardware store, got a new bulb, put it in, and I thought all was good. I turn on the arcade cabinet and immediately it shorts out. No good. Now, when that happened, I knew what I had to do. Now, these things can get expensive. So if it shorts out upon your first power-up, you might be thinking, well, maybe you just bought yourself a dud and you go back and you buy another one. Well, chances are the next one's going to short out. So you're already out, anywhere between what, 10 to 15 bucks just for, the light bulbs. So let me show you what the problem is and what you have to do in order to fix it. Okay, here we are, and here's the homemade light fixture that came out of my cabinet. What happened to the other one, I don't know. Obviously the previous owner made this and it gets the job done. Now what you're going to want to do is obviously remove the light fixture from your cabinet. In order to get this thing fixed, that's what you're going to have to do. Just unscrew it. It's probably being held to the cabinet by a couple of screws, nothing major. And the wires hopefully are connected with something like this. So just go ahead and pull it apart. And what you got here and what you'll see on your fixture is it's pretty much the same thing. You got a housing unit, which would in this case is this thing. You got the holders, you got the light, you got the starter, and you got this thing right here. This is the ballast. B-A-L-L-A-S-T. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. Now the reason why your light keeps shorting out is because of this thing. Now what it does specifically, I'm really not going to get into, but think of it this way. This thing went bad, so now your light is just getting overpowered and it's shorting out. So what you're going to have to do is replace your ballast. And this thing you can buy at your local hardware store. Just, take this unit with you. If you don't know which one you need, take it down. They'll point you in the right direction and they'll tell you which one you need. These aren't very expensive. I got the replacement. The one that I got is probably about $6 or $7. Now, while you're there at the hardware store, you might as well replace your starter. These things, you can get a couple of them for like $2 or $3, no biggie. So, why not just replace both at the same time? Save yourself some pain down the road. Because remember, your cabinet, chances are, it's going on 20 years old. So, you're already at the hardware store, might as well get them both. And then, of course, you'll need your new light. So, let me show you my replacement. Okay, here we are, and this is my replacement. Now, as you can see, it pretty much looks exactly the same. So you're really not going to have too hard of a time, replacing it. Now the starters, here's the set that I got. I got 2 of them, and it cost me, I think it was like $2.50 for the package. So you figure, less than 20 bucks for the light, the ballast, and a starter. So the way you do this is, first of all, you're going to want to take away or cut away any connections that you have. In this case, this was connected and I just cut it away. No biggie. This one, I could just unscrew. And there you are. So let me go ahead and get a screwdriver. I'll remove this and we'll go from there. Okay, here we are. As you can see, I replaced my ballast. Here's the old one. Here's the new one. Pretty much same size and everything. Wires just happen to be on the other side. Here, of course, it's the right side. Here's the left. Now, next thing you want to do is just replace your wires like they were before. Some people like to use these things. I think they're called wire nuts. I'm really not sure. I always prefer to do the old twist method and electrical tape. The reason being is because I know I'll get a good contact, and for whatever reasons I do not have a good history with these things. I don't know if I just buy the cheap ones or what, but they always seem to pop off. Now, here, these are just some basic wire cutters that I have. Nothing fancy. I used to have a really nice set. It cost me about, I think it was like 30 or maybe 40 bucks. I can't remember. But it was a really nice fancy set, and I have no idea what I did with those. But these ones, this is a real cheap set. You get them at your local hardware store. If you're going to be working on machines a lot, I recommend, spending the money just to get this. It's not fancy, but it gets the job done. So, go ahead and connect your wires like they were before. Pretty much black to black and whatever other color there is to your white. And again, like I said, I prefer the twist method. You just twist it nice and good. And then, of course, electrical tape. Again, there are other ways to do this. There's prettier ways and fancier ways, but remember, my channel is dedicated towards or geared towards people who have just started to get into the arcade scene, and maybe they don't have all the proper tooling or the correct tooling that one would need. So pretty much when I make my repairs, for the most part, I do it with things that pretty much are already in your home. So again, you might not have these, or hell, since you're going down to the hardware store to get your ballasts, if you like these, go ahead and get them. And if you want to save a few cents and you already have electrical tape, go the other method. So let's go over here, twist these suckers together. And again, we'll get some more electrical tape. Nothing fancy, just the real quick wrap around. And there we go. Now, next, the starter. Let's move this out of the way. Flip this sucker over. Oh, now again, remember, on your arcade cabinet, you're probably going to have an official light fixture. And if this was one, chances are this would be up here someplace. And I think the starter would actually be in a compartment over around this area. And of course it'll look like this. But so you might have to actually take things apart to get access to it. Maybe not. Now the starter, it's real simple to remove. You basically just twist it and it pops out. So here's the old one. And I got my replacements. Again, really cheap, only a couple bucks. So let's go ahead and pop in the new one. Sorry about that. I had some kids coming by. They always like to ask if they can play the games. Just the neighborhood kids. Sometimes I say yes, sometimes I say no. But anyways, let's go ahead and get the starter in, put it in, twist it, and it's locked. So again, if you're gonna replace the ballast, might as well replace the starter also. Everything, including the light, is under 20 bucks. So there you go. Replace the starter, replace the ballast, replace the light. So let's go ahead and put this in the cabinet, and if all goes well, the light will power up. Okay, so here we are. I got the light fixture in, and if everything goes as planned, hopefully it'll light up without shorting out. So let's go ahead and turn on the cabinet, and well, we'll see firsthand if I did this correctly, which I should have. And there you go. It's now lit. So if you have a light that keeps shorting out and you're wondering why, chances are the ballast needs to be replaced. Unfortunately, I didn't have this on camera when it first shorted out. That would have been nice, but you know, I'm not gonna go waste $7 just so I can show that. But if anybody wants to, you know, give me money, and then I'll go buy it and then I can show it, but you know, I don't think anybody wants to do that. So anyways, there you are. As you can see, it's bright, it's nice. So if you have any questions, let me know. And there you go, it's off. Guess I should have ended the video sooner. But, like I said, if you have any questions, let me know. So, until next time.
That's it, man. Game over, man.